I'm the founder of Eternity, and yeah, we are here this week for a core dev workshop. Before we get to the, let's say, deeper details of the technology we're developing, I'm gonna give you, together with Emin, an overview over, let's say, the basic platform as well as the ecosystem surrounding the platform and the people who are building this. So, yes, I'm for many years now in the blockchain space, and I developed many wallets, was also early involved in the Ethereum project. And Emin?
Yeah, I'd say a few words to myself. I've been a tech entrepreneur all my life, basically. And I was introduced to Bitcoin very early through mining, and then always stayed interested. And then since the early days of Eternity, I joined the team. And right now I'm overlooking all the products that are currently getting built, not only by us, but by the ecosystem. Okay, so I would say we jump in, and maybe you can say a few words to the motivation, where we are coming from.
Yes, so currently no transaction system, whether decentralized or centralized, public or private, has not reached the needs for supporting the transaction amounts for 7.6 billion people, which are already 300 million more people like 2 years ago when I started with this pitch. Decentralized systems, we think, are a better way of approaching the problem to support so many transactions. And it seems that blockchain, so in the original sense a timestamp server, is the most efficient, let's say, fundament for such a smart contract platform we want to build. And yes, so we believe that generally a blockchain should be open source, decentralized, and surrounding the platform, an ecosystem needs to be created. So about the ecosystem we're going to talk later more. For the platform, it's important that it's scalable. So it's like the most important thing, which we think we improve a lot through state channels. So to cover the billions of transactions that people have spent each year. And the smart contract needs to be more safe, more easier to write and easier to reason about it. So Sophia is a new language we introduced for writing smart contracts, functional smart contracts. Oracles are a well-defined way how real-world data can be inserted into the blockchain for smart contracts to be used with them. And then also tokens and names are first-class citizens of the platform. So it's easier to write certain applications and more. So the public mainnet launched late November last year, and since then, the ecosystem definitely grew a lot. I'm gonna tell you also more about this. And this picture is from when we essentially did the last commit to trigger the deployment for the mainnet. Emin, maybe you want to go?
One of the reasons why we are here is Erlang, I would say. And we use, of course, a huge technology stack to develop what we developed until today. It's very important for us that also the tools we use are open source and that they have a supporting community. And this is also extremely important for the long-time future of Eternity, because we are also an open source product. I think I don't need to tell you anything about Erlang and why also we are using it or decided to use it in the beginning to write the first implementation or reference client for the Eternity blockchain. But even more interesting is that we said that I think we even maybe also inspired by what is happening.
It's just. There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, one of the very interesting parts of the Eternity blockchain is for sure the new smart contract language that in this case, for example, a very simple, was my first Sophia smart contract, creating a little voting application where you can add participants. And the language was designed and thought through from the beginning in a way that should match a lot of attributes that are important to write safe code and to power the next wave of decentralized applications that need that. The company which run the public token sale, the contribution campaign, was incorporated in Liechtenstein in 2016, in a time where basically more or less nobody have heard or touched blockchain there. Fast forward today, we will see this year a blockchain act most likely passing the government. We have hundreds of companies now registered, not only in Liechtenstein, but maybe some of you might have also heard about Zug and some other areas. So it is definitely not dead, and a lot of things are happening, and we also see a lot of support for regulating but also understanding the technology. This goes from enterprises through governments, through just simple app developers. Yeah, please. But most importantly, this all was just possible through like a very, very big variety of people from all over the world. It's more than 20 countries, more than 150 people. We have from teenagers to professors and everything within this ecosystem. When I say 150, it's more like a number of people who are contributed and actively to the current state of the software and ecosystem. And I think the ecosystem is like a very, very, very important thing to mention here, because a blockchain alone is not interesting and not usable. It has a few APIs, one to connect to other nodes, one to grab some data and debug some things. But in order to build like a real ecosystem around it, a lot of things need to be developed. There need to be a tooling, there need to be SDKs, there need to be hosted infrastructure that you can query and use, and there need to be simple ways and entry points and educational material for new people who get interested in this space. This on the left side is just a few lines of JavaScript, which basically allow you to register a name to a public key on Eternity. So it's really straightforward and super simple. Also in a development environment like this, to set it up, a few lines of code, and you grab the package and you basically can start. And it's growing quickly. I think the Eternity repository is one of the most active repositories in the whole cryptocurrency blockchain space. Lots of new things are getting added on a daily basis. Right now, for example, the team is working on a testing tool for state channels, so it's more fun to debug them and develop them. And this is just from this morning, where there was a presentation for the updates for a decentralized apps browser and wallet combination, and you see it's. I think you're used to it too, yeah? Having video chats and discussing the new stuff and presenting what is going to happen, and maybe go one more. And also, we try to move this in the public as good as we can. So we have public developer hangouts where people can join now. We have a forum which is getting more and more active, where people contribute with ideas what should be developed next, or where there is a demand. And we have totally independent people all over the world. In China, for example, developing mining software, which does only puzzle solving and securing the network. But not only software, I think the ecosystem is even more, yeah.
Yeah, and for the ecosystem we also opened a co-working space in Liechtenstein and Vaduz, and the right picture is from the garden opening event of the House of Blockchain with our partner for the House of Blockchain, Thomas Nagel, and in the middle is the Prime Minister of Liechtenstein. So there's support for let's say this technology. For the roadmap, Emin will tell you more.
Yeah, I mean, just a few words to the roadmap. So the roadmap is basically a never-ending roadmap, right? We're developing an ecosystem and new stuff is happening all day. It's just two screenshots from publicly available management systems. On the left side is from the protocol development, where new tasks getting added on a daily basis and knocked off on a daily basis. And on the right side is just a very little screenshot from where the current wallet and apps browser is getting developed, and it's everything is open and transparent. Everybody can join and comment, and I think this is also a very important part. But as I said, ecosystem is not only writing code and building tools for developers and opening a co-working space. It's also supporting as good as we can. And we have like there are two major vehicles which established, which are independent and established themselves. One is the Eternity Starfleet, which is supporting early stage startups. You can go to the next slide, yeah, and helping them not only with some funds for the beginning, but really trying to give them all this experience that this was needed to actually get here and get something off the ground. And we try to like kickstart and help them through this, the Eternity Foundation tried this. This is a picture from the first batch. The second one is approaching pretty soon, and there are now teams all over the world developing applications that interact and use the Eternity protocol. A lot of stuff is still in research. We have a project which is doing digital art, for example, where a token can represent ownership, but also access to a digital art piece. Or we have a RideSafe company in Kenya, which provide micro insurance for motorcycle drivers, and also securing a lot of things and making a lot of things auditable and transparent. By using a blockchain backend, we could say. But a lot of things is also R&D, and it's not only like building products which then get used. And there is a foundation. It's a non-profit foundation based in Liechtenstein, and the foundation is focusing on different areas. It has a website, also an application form, and mainly it's there to really push forward all types of R&D where the whole ecosystem could profit from later on. The community at the end are people, right? So it's lots and lots of people which are also only just interested or joining or think about it. And this is also growing, and we are having fun meetups that we support all over the world. I would love to participate in all of them, but this is absolutely impossible. And I think there are maybe, I don't know how many countries it has been, maybe 80 countries where meetups happened, or even more. And this is really, really nice to see that people are like really, really interested and joining this. And of course there are news too, always. And I'm also like wrapping this up with this basically. We are still there is still heavy development going on, and a lot of improvements, and a lot of new stuff is going to be added to the protocol, but also to other areas. And therefore, throughout the whole year, we will hard fork the Eternity blockchain a couple of times, and we will propose updates. In the end, the community needs to decide if they adapt it. And one is approaching now. Is basically we have finished one major update these days, and two more are to follow. And maybe you can say a few words about this project, which is also quite interesting.
Also to integrate the blockchain with the real world, we decided to do a drone graffiti where drones get controlled via essentially via a smart contract, so people send transactions with the image, and then drones automatically painted, and there will be an auction, a public auction on Eternity blockchain at the beginning of next month, where everybody who has AE tokens can participate to auction some drone time, and with the drone time paint stuff on a public wall in Mexico City, which is okay. So
Sorry, what a bit.
Milan was too fast.
Alright. Check it out. If you go to Instagram, you will also be able to find more stuff, videos as well from the drone graffitis. These events which happened 2 weeks ago. Hashtag drone graffiti. Yeah.
And last but not least, of course, one of the biggest and best takeaways for the community and the whole ecosystem would be if just like one or two or all of you will somehow later on start interacting or contributing, or just digging into what has been built. And it is pretty easy to find Eternity online. It's a unique name. You can Google it, but you can also just come to our website and jump from there in the different channels. And so this would be a great result of such a meetup. And now we are going to dig deep into interesting technology. Thank you.